All right, folks. Good Tuesday morning from Abnormal Alabama and the League of Future Corpses. You know who this is by now. If not, I will tell you. This is Dr. K. And rolling right along, I got some more videos up. If you, I hope you've looked at the Flight Museum and the Art Town, which was, I think, a good video. And right now, Monsanto Mountain should be live just in a short time. It was almost uploaded when I left the house a little bit ago. And so now I've got to go to my church office and print out something, take care of just a little bit of business. Then I got to go all the way west for a meeting luncheon. And excited about all that. Busy few days. In fact, I've been pretty going at it pretty strong here for a little bit, at least a week nonstop, no days off. Tomorrow's going to be another busy day, another luncheon, doctor's appointments for Linda, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I hope to get back into the groove at the church. I got a lot of stuff to put together, and yes, I'm excited about it. I am super excited about it, not just passively excited about everything. I am super excited about everything that's going on right now. Always coming up with new ideas, new adventures, new things to do, new ways to spend our lives. Not just, that's the way I look at it. This is life. This is what we do. And, the reality is we create these roles for ourselves. Sometimes we simply sit back and let culture and religion and all that stuff create roles for us. And I think it's really a shame. We don't realize freedoms. We don't really get the most out of our lives because we allow those things to control us, control who we are and whatnot, from dress and groom to the way we communicate and the things that we would involve ourselves in. And clearly, there has to be some sort of boundary, and that boundary, though, doesn't have to be that close. Some people say, "Oh, well, thank God he's got a life. Let him live it." Well, who wants boundaries? Of course, you don't want to hurt anybody. You respect people and their property. I get that, and that is fine. But these people put these self-imposed little, it's just like I pass all these subdivisions, like I live in, and I don't like it. It's there for a reason right now, but I don't like these subdivisions where you got these cookie cutter homes, and you pay year have a homeowners association dictate to you how you can keep your property. I don't like that. I never have liked it. I found myself only twice in my life being confined in such a way, and there are legitimate reasons for that at the moment. But I would change that in a heartbeat, given the opportunity. So I don't like those constraints. I like freedom. I like freedom. If I want a orange garage door, purple front door, that's my concern. If you don't like it, keep driving along. And I think that's the way it should be with everybody. I drive along and I see people that live in homes and places I would not live. They paint their houses a color I would not want mine. But that's them. They have the freedom to do that, and I strongly support that. Some people are just huge. I go to cemeteries a lot and have all through my life, and people put, Alabama football paraphernalia on their graves. It's like, whatever. That's on them. I mean, that's what they want to do. I support their freedom 100%. But, they don't realize if they look in the mirror that these things they do are really culturally imposed upon them. Because if you're in Alabama, the old saying is that if you move to Alabama, in the first 5 minutes of conversation with a stranger, they're going to ask you two questions. One is, are you an Alabama Auburn fan, and what church do you go to? Because they have those social, cultural restraints set on them, and they don't know life. Something's wrong with you if you don't live in that bubble that they're in. And I'm totally opposed to that kind of life because this is my time. This is, I'm now in my mid 60s, and my clock is ticking down. Whether and I've got no control over that. I'm very fortunate to have lived this long, but this is my time. It's not your time. It's not the government's time. It's not a religion's time. This is my time. I personally don't think that the way I dress and the way I speak, I don't think any of those things has anything to do with what's going to happen to me in any eternity. I don't think that if I use colorful language that some mighty God is going to smite me for eternity because I use language that somebody else didn't like. I think that given the world conditions, I would hope that any benevolent, loving God would have more to focus on than whether I said what's considered a four-letter word or not. And if you notice, I pretty much keep these clean. I let one sling once in a while, but yeah, I'm culturally restrained. I am socially restrained because that's the way somebody decided at some point in time. That's just the way we do things. That's the way it should be. And it's just it's sad. It's really sad and pathetic that we allow it to go that way. So anyway, this is Tuesday. This is the day named after Mars, the planet Mars. And rainy, drizzly day, and it's going to be that way probably all day. Tomorrow's supposed to be more of the same. In fact, there is a much higher percentage chance of rain for tomorrow here than there was for today. And that's fine. We needed the rain. Things were drying up dramatically. So we definitely needed the rain. So let's see, caught up on things. Outside of the phone ringing and emails, the rest of the month is kind of slow on the wedding territory, which is going to give an opportunity of time to accomplish some things that we're going to get done for adventures in life. And I'm really pumped and excited to be able to get this done. So the rain is coming, as I've mentioned several times, and if you're in Central Alabama, and I think even all the way down to the Gulf Coast, it's just rain, rain, rain. You can probably hear my windshield wiper squishing across the windshield there. It's just one of those type rains where it's not real heavy, but it's just enough to where you got to kind of put your wipers on intermediate. You know what I'm saying. So, talking about freedom and not worrying about what the restraints are that culture and other people would like to put on you, religion and government and all that. I'm coming up real quick to a cemetery that is on the direction I'm headed, on the right side of the road. I'm sorry, I'm not going to lift my phone out of the cradle. I'm driving. But there's a grave there of someone that, the remains of someone that passed away in 2017. And it is loaded with all kind of artifacts, I guess you could say. There's flowers, there's lights, there's signs, there's Alabama football, there's beer cans, whiskey bottles, just an abundance of stuff. I have noticed that probably about once a month, I'll drive by and I guess the family loved ones of this person are gathering there for a tailgate party. And I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with football, but they're there. They pull up beside the grave in their vehicles. They are got lawn chairs and tailgates open. It's like a tailgate party, I guess. And I know they're doing that. They miss their loved one. It's something they feel compelled to do because they've got that big void in their lives. And that's how they choose to honor this person that was once in their lives and no longer there. In my world, it looks kind of strange. It's different. It's not something that I would consume my time with. But it suits these people. I find nothing wrong with it. As far, it's not my place to find anything wrong with it, right? It's what they want to do. I'm not critical of it. I just find it interesting. And I find it interesting as I've traveled in different countries and whatnot. different cultures and so forth, the things that people do. And it's like, well, why, if I did that in Alabama, what they do in India, well, that's normal for them. Why would it be considered abnormal? I'm a human, they're human, we all share the planet. Well, it's because we have chosen to put these restraints on ourselves. If I decided that I wanted to go around, I mean, even wearing a kilt, which I do occasionally, you'll get looks and stares, and I guess some people just don't know. I don't know, but it doesn't fit into our bubble here. That certain things just don't fit. I remember when people started the piercings of their ears and nose and whatnot. There's people that still are critical of that. But I mean, personally, I just don't care. That's something that people have done throughout history. They mark their bodies, and if you go back, there's these tribes, these peoples in different parts of the world have done this kind of thing for eons. It's nothing new. It just kind of goes in cycles. It's more accepted now than it was 10 years ago. Back in the 60s, we went through the sexual revolution thing and the mini skirts and whatnot, and now it's more wide open. You got some people, conservative, want to conceal their bodies. Other people want to reveal themselves, and I think it's all fine. I did a nudist wedding. I officiated over a nudist wedding. I was the only one that had any kind of covering to speak of on my body. But I didn't have a problem with other people being naked. I don't, equate nakedness with sexual. And that's the terrible thing about what we've done to our culture, to our people. We are shamed by nature, bottom line. And I wrote these words for that wedding ceremony. I said, God keeps sending us naked people, and we keep returning to Him people fully clothed. And that is true. You think about it. I mean, it's like, so what? What, breastfeeding in public became a big thing. It's like, this is a natural thing. Get over it. That shows me the kind of people we have we call our leaders in our country, the elected officials and those who are prominent in our community that are opposed to these kind of things. It shows, to me, it shows where their minds are, how much in the gutter their minds are. And it's like, I don't care. I don't feel compelled if I see a woman breastfeeding her child, if she was sitting in the car next to me, even in this more private circumstance here, I would not feel compelled to reach over there and fondle her breast or think about, oh, I would love to suck on that nipple. I mean, really, are you kidding me? She's feeding her child. But that's where we've come, and that's how we let these restraints. And like I said before, there are certain things. People are just not mature. They're not adult. Driving down the road, speed limit's 55. It's been determined that's a safe speed. There's side roads, and whatnot. And anyway, it's like, okay, I get it. 55, it's a safe speed. You've got traffic entering the side roads and hills and twists and turns on the road, and that's comfortable speed to go, whatever. But people will go along in this 55 mile an hour zone. They will travel at 65 and 70 until they see a cop, and then they will slow down. And a lot of times they'll slow down to 5 to 10 miles under the posted speed limit, which is a freaking riot, I think, because it's like the little child. Same mentality, the same child-like behavior. When they were a child, and mom would tuck them in bed, say good night, turn out the light.